Boom, boom. Joff has got a UK driving license. Can you believe it? So the story goes, anybody that's used to watch our videos around Christmas time, just prior to Christmas, I was actually renewing my HGV license. And anyway, so with that renewal, you have to go and see your GP and get a full written report on your health conditions to be able to drive a truck. And it's a very big thing, driving trucks. Healthy people driving trucks, non-healthy people do not drive trucks. Okay. So anyway, you might recall me, cardio version, the ongoing story of where I tore my hand apart, needed an operation on it. You've got an irregular heartbeat, so then I had to have a treatment for that one, and it all kind of like stabilized down. And funny enough, so I'm just going to continue this story. It was time to renew the license, so I went and saw the doctor, and he's got all my notes out, and he's put some information on there that DVLA were a little bit sort of like a bit of a flag up, so they wanted to know more information. This is Christmas, and before Christmas the application was sent off. So on returning from Portugal, when we were down there for the January, I came back to some really bad news of where I haven't got a license, but after a little bit of fishing around, I could still drive HGVs because I'm just renewing my license. I could still carry on driving under section 88. There is a exception where you're just, so you haven't had an issue. So anyway, I can carry on doing my job, driving trucks, driving everything I'm allowed to drive, and basically from that point, I've been waiting and waiting for my driving license to return. It rocked up yesterday. I could not believe it. After many phone calls, because even though you're still okay, you know, you've got this thing that you can still drive, don't worry about it, carry on, but you just feel like you want to have a license in your hand, so there it is, you know, kind of thing. So it was so refreshing to get that back yesterday. It was like, at last, after all the phone calls, and I was making them phone calls regularly, chasing it up, but yeah, so I'm a happy bunny. I can basically drive anything again now, so with this bit of plastic, it's an amazing thing, isn't it? You can just drive anything. So that is really good news from my point of view. In the meantime, I've just had my healthy heart check basically this week, and blood pressure, blood samples, weight, all that kind of thing. They ask you about your physical fitness and all the rest of it. I'm fairly fit, touch wood, and yeah, may it continue. Everything's pretty good. So and I do have some regular fruit. They ask you about smoking. The big thing now is the smoking thing. I don't actually smoke, only occasionally when I go to Dusseldorf and have a big fat stogie. But anyway, apart from that, we drink a little bit, but everybody's got their vices. So but I'm one of them people that you might see us when we're doing trips, we might look like we're drinking quite often. We probably are, but you sort of have that kind of like moderation. I think I might have had a beer the weekend, one beer, and prior to that it might have been 4 weeks. So that's the kind of like drinking I do. But occasionally we do get a little bit carried away. You know what it's like. But yeah, so that's all good. And going on from there, I'm back in my motorhome on a Thursday night, keeping cool. So yeah, one thing I was just going to show you guys. Oh, hang on, before we go there, I've got so much to tell you guys, it's unbelievable. So we'll leave the little cooling fan for a minute, and yesterday, I'm going to tag in some photos. So there was a situation where I came across an old lady that had done a sidewall in on the tyre, on a tyre. The usual scenario, I am always beating on about this. Rocks poking out of hedges, sidewall damage, no spare wheel. It's not going to happen. So anyway, she was okay. She had some roadside assistance come in to sort of help her out, and anyway, so eventually they rocked up, and the guy actually did a temporary. So some of these car tires now, there's so many different sizes, unusual sizes, and they can't carry every single size on vans. Even in tire shops now, you've normally got to order unusual size tires. So anyway, the guy that was doing the assistance came up with quite a lucrative little idea, and he chopped off a little bit of belt, a drive belt from an engine, which has got like reinforcing wire inside it, so it's quite strong, and he literally glued it on the side of the tyre over to almost make a patch over the top. I'm going to just tag in these pictures, and then progressed on to inflate it to nearly 36 psi, and it held the pressure. Basically, it was a temporary repair. He was going to actually follow the lady back to her premises to make sure everything was tickety-boo. So it was a temporary repair, but I kind of love that situation where you can get yourself out of situations. Obviously, she was an elderly lady, and but she actually did say to me, she said, if I had a spare wheel, I'd have changed it myself. And I'm like, fair play to you. And so anyway, that brings me on to my next story. Is we bumped into some people at a motorhome dealership on Sunday afternoon, and if you're watching this video, because you said you was going to probably start catching up on some of our videos for information. So in the conversation, we were just sort of like talking about different things, and it always comes up. I'm one of them people when we start about continental travel and stuff like that, about carrying your spare wheel. And the guy sort of said, look, I'm a actual like builder, and I wouldn't actually have I wouldn't actually know how to change a wheel. And I'm like, no, like, you're like fit, able, you can do this, surely, you know, and that kind of thing inspires me. So yes, I know that basically when you're in the trade and you've been doing all these things for a long time, but I just want to try and like pass over that sort of like confidence to people, saying, hey guys, that, you know, we've done videos. You know how often I'm changing my wheels around in my van. I'm changing them, putting the aluminium ones on, taking the BF Goodriches off, the steel wheels go back on, forever rotating, and you get into that kind of like habit. And the most important thing ever is just to make sure, well, the first thing is, which I'm whenever I do these videos, people are going to say, Joff, it's health and safety. You know, health and safety is prime importance. You never put your legs under a vehicle that's jacked up. You never do that. I'm always like wary about even putting it, because if one slip and that vehicle, 3.5 ton, 7.5 ton, 12 ton, 50, 18 ton, all these supersized weights and stuff go bang on the ground, and they will literally, you know, you can sever your limb that easily in a split second. And so that's what you got to keep remembering. And also, when you're out on the road, you guys need to be seen. And everybody, if you're going to do anything outside your motorhome, on a hard shoulder of a motorway, on the side of a road, anywhere, just make sure you get seen. High-vis, triangle up the road. I'm always saying that I've got 2 triangles up the road, and if they both got squashed and saved my life, who cares? Do you know what I mean? So that is prime time, is health and safety. And you can never be, you know, like I say, you just got to look after yourself out there. But that one there, and the next one going on from there is obviously because the guy was a little bit, hey look, jacking point. So another one is like familiarize yourself where you can jack your vehicle up safely and not do any damage. He said, I literally don't want to damage my motorhome, and I'm not sure where I'd, so there are jacking points to jack up your vehicle. It's good to be aware of where. It's always good practice to, you know, practice at home in total safety and just like run through it a little bit. Remove a wheel. Sometimes these aluminium wheels, if they haven't been off for a long time, I'm telling you, you will have to get in behind it and literally beat it with a lump hammer to get the wheel off. They get on there so badly seized on sometimes. So the next thing after that is obviously after you've undoing your wheel nuts. You know the bar that I've got, a long bar this long with an impact socket, so it's not gonna break the socket. We've seen sockets, cheap socket sets getting it'll just break it. They can be quite tight, 165 170 newton meters, and snap, your socket is toasted. And the other thing, if you've changed your wheel, is to obviously re-tighten the wheel nuts and keep an eye on them after a certain amount of miles. If you've changed the wheel, just double check them later on. Just put the bar on, dunk, 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 torque wrench, Joff, I should know better, 165, 170 newton meters, click. And but like I say, I've got a feel for, I can feel it. There we go. So as long as them wheel nuts are not over tightened, you can over tighten them, snap them off. Don't do that. So you don't want to under tighten them, over tighten them, but you can do it. If you, like I say, I'm one of them people that I love to help people out and give them recognition, you know, sort of like try and inspire them to get around these jobs, because the most important thing for me is not spending your holiday 3 hours, 6 hours waiting for someone to come out. And the other thing is, with, you know the score, with continental travel, if you've got to communicate with a French tire company, I'm going to struggle badly, but they probably wouldn't understand me if I went north of Manchester, probably. But so that's that. So yeah, just that little bit. I'll get on these little rolls, and there's loads of things going through my head about that. So any comments, fully welcome. Leave them down the bottom, you know what to do. And also the fan. So I'm just going to, I think I'm going to do this fan, and then I'm just going to go and do this video, because it's probably been, what, 2 hours so far about driving license and wheel changes, that's all. And so I was squeezing to see if I can tag on the little rechargeable fan. So what happened, roughly about 5 years ago, we ended up with 2 of these fans. They came from John Lewis. It's a USB 3-speed. That's the fastest speed, and it's chucking out some nice fresh air. It's keeping the air moving in here. I have got my blown troomer on as well. I'm venting my motorhome out again when I come out here, and it's been really stuffy in the days. So 3-speed. USB rechargeable. Everybody's got USB connections in their motorhomes. You can have it, you can hold it while you're, if you're the passenger. I'm not going to, is it, I've just got my license back, so I don't want to lose it again. So I'm not going to drive with this. But we normally have them, to be honest. You're not going to. We have the air conditioning going when I'm driving. But at night, it's always nice to have it back there on the side if it's super hot. We have got a Transcool that we love, and fill it with ice when it gets above 30 degrees, 25 degrees, them super temperatures. But yeah, there are. So anyway, so we had 2 of these. I'm just going to put it back on speed 1, and what actually happened, Caroline's the other day, for some strange reason, had a little funny it would not work without the lead plugged in, and it was then only on 1 speed. So I said, look, not a problem, the next time we get to John Lewis, these are actually available in John Lewis, okay, at a mere 12 quid. I was gonna I was actually thinking about buying one online. I went online, and I think the postage was, you know, it nearly outweighed the cost of the actual fan. But they do mail them to you if you want to get them mailed. But we were up the shop the weekend, and I said to Caroline, right, while we're here, we will pick one up, a fresh one. So she has got a fresh one in the box that she's already had a play with it. It's fully working. But at the end of the day, for 12 quid, they do another one, because she said, have you seen these, look? And it's like they call it a little desktop fan, USB. A lot of all these things are going USB now. It's fantastic. I love it. So you can charge them off your USB points in your motorhome, off power stations, power banks. Great stuff. So what was I going to say? I've babbled on that much. So yeah, there you go. 12 quid, John Lewis, if you want one, because most people sort of say, where do you get them from? Or, oh, I know what I was going to say, they do the bigger one. Oh my god. So yeah, they do a slightly bigger one, and I sort of said to Karen, look, I'm going to stick with these. I've got my Transcool. That is good enough for me. I don't want more fans and more sort of like clogging up everywhere. So just going to keep it simple. But they do a slightly bigger one, and I think he was about like £30, USB rechargeable, and very, very attractive. We kind of said, like, they're really smart. They're really smart. No wires, beautiful. Put it wherever you want. You know, chuck it outside if you want to. Do you know what I mean? So that is that. I think we're going to leave it there. I've fanned and finished myself, I think. So any comments, guys, give us a comment. We're always open to a comment, and we'll catch you probably in about 2 days time with some other nonsense. So what more in life do you need? A driving license and a rechargeable USB fan. I'm going to leave it there. Bye guys, take it easy.